Hello everyone, I am G. Ravikrishna Swami. I am here to teach material science and metallurgy subject. So far we have discussed introduction, bonds in solids, crystallization of metals, classification of engineering materials and mechanical properties, packing factor for SC, BCC and FCC, metal alloys, okay, and necessity of alloying, types of solid solutions, types of metal alloys, line density, plane density, okay, grain size and grain boundaries and grain size measurement, how to calculate the grain size measurement, and imperfections. In the last presentation, imperfections, point defect, line defect, surface defect and volume defect, and slip and twinning. So these are the topics we have covered so far. So this knowledge is very helpful to understand this presentation. Okay, fine. Let us get into the today's topic. That is, as we are in first unit, structure of metals and constitution of alloys. Today's presentation is about Hume-Rothery rules. Hume-Rothery rules. Okay, there are 4 rules in this proposed by Hume-Rothery. Those 4 rules we will discuss today. To understand these 4 rules, you need to recall some basic topics about solution and about solution. Okay, so what are those basic? Let me recall. I told you in the different types of alloys. What is substitutional alloys? What is substitutional alloys? Substitutional alloys are the metals combining have atoms of the same size. This presentation is completely about how you combine two materials, two metals. What is a metal alloy? Combination of 2 or more materials, metals in molten state. Okay? How you mix one material into another material. These are all Hume-Rothery rules, and the further topic of today's discussion, everything includes how you mix two metal alloys. Okay, so you need to recall what is substitutional alloy. Okay, when the metal combining have atoms of the same size. Let it be, this is metal A, this is metal B. When you are combining A and B, these have specific atom size and these have different atom size. When both the atom size are same, those after combination it will become alloy. That alloys come under substitutional alloys. Okay, that metals come under substitutional alloys. Fine. Example is brass. This already we discussed it, just we are recalling. Okay, and in your intermediate chemistry, you might not only intermediate chemistry, in before 10th also, you might hear this term solvent and solute. What is solvent? What is solute? Solvent, solute. Let us recall those definitions. Solvent, able to dissolve other substances. If any material is able to dissolve other substances, that material is called solvent. Solvent is able to dissolve other substances. Okay, so major material is solvent, into which what you are adding is solute. Solvent is simply able to dissolve other substances. Okay, solute. What is solute? The minor component in a solution. It is the minor component in a solution. In a solution, solvent and solute are there. Okay, solvent is major component. Minor component is solute. Okay, so minor component in a solution dissolved in the solvent. What is dissolved in the solvent is called solute. Hope you understand. Very basic definitions, na? Okay, solvent and solute. These three definitions understanding is important to understand the Hume-Rothery rule. For that I am recalling this. Okay, let us get into the Hume-Rothery rules. These Hume-Rothery rules, one. As I told, 4 rules are there. This is the Hume-Rothery rule 1. Okay, this all Hume-Rothery rules tells about mixing of two metal alloys, mixing of two metals. In preparation of metal alloys, how you mix, how you have to mix two metals. Okay, how you have to mix two metals. These all 4 Hume-Rothery rules tell about that. Rule number 1. Okay, what is that? It is the first rule is called as atomic size factor rule. Atomic size factor rule. So for combining two metals, what is the atomic size of metal A? What is the atomic size of metal B? How it should be? This Hume-Rothery rule 1 tells about that. Okay, so Hume-Rothery rule 1 is called as atomic size rule, atomic size factor rule. Let us get into the what is the rule number 1 of Hume-Rothery. Okay, extensive substantial solid solution occurs. What is extensive substantial solid solution occurs? Only if the relative difference between the atomic diameters radii of the two species is less than 15%. You try to understand well. Substitutional solid solution occurs. What is substitutional solid solution? When you are combining two metals, metal A atom size, metal B atom size should be same. So then after combining it will become alloy. That solution is called substitutional solid solution. Okay, when this substitutional solid solution occurs, when relative difference between the atomic diameters, atomic diameter of A, atomic diameter of B, relative difference of two species, two materials is less than 15%. Okay, suppose A is of one atomic size. Okay, B is of another atomic size. Okay, when this it means substitution solid solution means almost two atomic sizes should be same. Okay, but also substitution solid solution occurs when the relative difference between atomic diameters or radii, atomic diameter of radii of two species is less than 15%. Okay, you got it? If the difference greater than 15%, the solubility is limited. The difference is greater than 15%, solubility is limited. Okay, hope you got it. This is metal A. In that atoms are there. This is metal B. In that atoms are there. Okay, this radius, let it be R1 is equal to let it be 30 micrometer. 30 micrometer. Okay. Let it be R2, radius of B material. R2 is equal to 35 material, 35 micrometer. If you calculate the difference between the two atomic radii of these two, it is less than 15%, huh? So then those two materials you can combine to obtain substitution solid solution. Okay? Suppose if atomic radius of this is 30, if this is 100 micrometer, then you cannot combine those. Atomic radii of A material is 30 micrometer, atomic radii of B is not in micrometers, it is nano level. The atoms will be at a nano level. Okay? Let 30. Simply it is 30. If it is 100, B is 100, you cannot mix both. You can mix, but when you mix, what will happen? If difference greater than 15%, the solubility is limited. Solubility. A material is in molten state. B material you are going to add. A material radius is of 30. B material radius is of atomic radius is 100. So then solubility is limited. It cannot dissolve completely. Okay? So that is Hume-Rothery rule 1. What it is telling? Hume-Rothery proposed one equation which tells about the relation between solvent and solute. Okay? Comparing the atomic radii of solids that form solid solution. Atomic radii. This is the radius of atomic radius of solute. Atomic radius of solvent. So solvent, solute in chemical term, let it be solute is B material, solvent is A material. A metal, B metal. Solvent, major component, solute, minor component. Both you are adding, mixing. Okay? So solvent is major material. Atomic radius of major material, solvent. Solute is atomic radius of minor material. Okay? So Hume-Rothery rule 1. Hume-Rothery rule, he proposed one relation between solvent and solute. That is, mismatch is equal to atomic radius of solute minus atomic radius of solvent by atomic radius of solvent into 100. It should be less than or equal to 15%. Okay? You have atomic radius of A, you have atomic radius of B. If you both substitute in this, if you are getting less than 15%, then you can combine those two materials simply. Got it? Hope I explained way more. So, sorry for more confusing. Hope you understand. I explained different manners. Okay? Hope you understand. Very simple definition. A and B you can combine when both the atomic radius of less than relative difference between both the atomic radius is less than 15%. Simple definition. Okay? Fine. Hume-Rothery rule 2. Hume-Rothery rule 2. It tells about crystal structure rule. It is called crystal structure rule. Previous one is atomic size. How A and B atomic sizes should be. Here crystal structure. What is he is telling? For appreciable solid solubility, the crystal structures of the two elements must be identical. When you are combining A and B, solvent and solute, crystal structure, A has different crystal structure, B has different crystal structure. When A and B are of same crystal structure, when both are A material and B material, when both are, let it be, this is simple cubic structure, this is simple cubic structure. Then you both combine, you can combine. And then only it has appreciable solid solubility. appreciable. It may be soluble, but it will, both are soluble and both will form good metal alloy. Should not say good, appreciable solid solution. Solid solution occurs. Okay, fine. It may be simple cubic or it may be face centered, FCC, or it may be BCC, or it may be HCP. Okay, when both A and B have a same crystal structure, the two elements are appreciable, have appreciable solid solubility. Okay, that is Hume-Rothery rule 2. Okay, for appreciable solid solubility, the crystal structures of the two elements must be identical. Okay, fine. Hume-Rothery rule 3. It tells about valency. Valency rule. It is called valency rule. Okay, valency. This term you might heard in during intermediate or before 10th. Na? What is valency? Just recall. Valency. Valence or valency of an element is a measure of combining power with other atoms. Valence tells combining power with other atoms. Okay, when it forms chemical compound. When A and B are combining and becoming alloy means A atoms and B atoms should combine, should prepare some bonds, maybe ionic bond or covalent bond or hydrogen bond or van der Waals bond, metallic bond. So any bond it has to form. So A atoms and B atoms should be in a position to combine. So that tells about the valency. Valency tells about that, whether they are able to well combine or not. Okay, so combining power with other atoms is called valency. Combining power with other atoms is called valency. So it is Hume-Rothery rule 1. So for combining two materials, how this valency should be, it tells. Hume-Rothery rule 3 tells about that. A metal will dissolve a metal. A metal will dissolve a metal of higher valency to a greater extent than one of lower valency. Metal A is there, it has valency. Metal B is there, it has valency. If metal A valency, okay, is lesser than metal B valency, then you can combine. A metal will dissolve a metal of higher valency. Means solvent is there. This is a major metal. Major. Into this you are adding another metal, that is solute. Okay. If this valency, a metal will dissolve a metal of higher valency. A metal will dissolve a metal of higher valency to a greater extent. If this valency is more, it can dissolve into this. If this valency is less, it cannot dissolve into this much. Okay, that is Hume-Rothery rule 3. A metal will dissolve a metal of higher valency to a greater extent than one of lower valency. That is Hume-Rothery rule 3. Okay. The solute and solvent atoms should typically have the same valency in order to achieve maximum solubility. Okay. As per Hume-Rothery rule 3, solvent and solute, A material and B material valency, how it should be? It should be, all atoms should be typically have the same valency. Atoms should typically have same valency. A material atoms have some particular valency. B material atoms have particular valency. So when A and B atoms have same valency, then those materials can combine, achieve maximum solubility. Okay, that is Hume-Rothery rule 3. Hope you understand. Hume-Rothery rule 4. What is Hume-Rothery rule 4? It tells about electronegativity rule. Electronegativity rule. What is electronegativity? Electronegativity tells about measure of the tendency of an atom to attract a bonding pair of electrons. Measure of the tendency of an atom to attract a bonding pair of electrons. Okay, as we are discussing about bonds in solids. The bonds in solids, covalent bond, hydrogen bond, metallic bond, van der Waals. About discussing bonds, one atom is there, another atom is there. When the electrons in its outermost shell are able to share with other atom, so then bonding will happen, isn't it? Right? So, measure of the tendency of an atom to attract a bonding pair of electrons. A, B, you are combining. A has electrons, A has atoms, so electrons are there. B has electrons. If A is capable to bond with B atoms, it tells about, it is the electronegativity. Okay? What is electronegativity? Simply, it is the measure of the tendency of atom to attract a bonding pair of electrons. Okay? Fine. Electronegativity difference close to 0 gives maximum solubility. Hume-Rothery rule 4 is electronegativity difference close to 0 means electronegativity of A, electronegativity of B material atoms should be same. Electronegativity difference close to 0. Okay? If electronegativity of this one is some 3, electronegativity of B is also 3. Then what is the difference? 3 minus 3, 0. So, when electronegativity difference is close to 0, then those materials have maximum solubility. That is Hume-Rothery rule 4. Okay? What is electronegativity, you understand? And for maximum solubility, how the electronegativity of both A and B, you understand? How it should be? A and B electronegativity should be same, or the difference between electronegativities of A and B is 0. Then those have maximum solubility. That is Hume-Rothery rule 4. Okay? The more electropositive one element, and the more electronegative the other, okay, the greater is the likelihood that they will form an intermetallic compound instead of a substitution solid solution. So when both A and B have electronegativity difference is 0, or electronegativity of A and B is same, it has a good solubility. If electronegativity of A is more than electronegativity of B, okay, means electropositivity one element is more, electropositivity is more for A, electronegativity is more for B. Then when those two combine, what will happen? Some intermetallic compound will form. Intermetallic compound, understand? Intermetallic compound. Okay. Again, I would like to tell you food example. When you are preparing upma, first you will boil the water. Okay. When you are boiling the water, when it is completely boiled, you will try to add flour. Okay. when you add sufficient amount of flour, you will get a proper mixture. When you add more amount of flour, you will get some solid grains you will get, isn't it? So sufficient amount of not only sufficient amount, here I would like to tell you is, in that upma, some portions are good, have good solubility, some are solid grains, isn't it? Isn't it? That solid grains are nothing but intermetallic compounds. Even when you are adding metal A and metal B, okay, metal A and metal B, there will be, if both have, if one have higher electropositivity, if another have higher electronegativity, when you combine those two, some portion those are soluble, but some portion, some intermetallic compound will form. Okay? Fine. Yeah, that's what it means. The solute and the solvent should lie relatively close in the electrochemical series. Yeah, solvent and solute means A and B metals. Okay? Should lie relatively close to the electrochemical series. Just leave that point. Okay? You understand what is Hume-Rothery rule 4? Again I am recalling, when you want to combine A and B materials, if A material electronegativity and B material electronegativity is same, then those have good solubility. Okay? Or if A material and B material has electronegativity difference 0, then also they have maximum solubility. Okay? If A has more higher electronegativity, B has higher electropositivity, then when you combine these two, some intermetallic compound will form instead of proper solubility. Okay? That is about Hume-Rothery rule 4. So these are the 4 rules of Hume-Rothery. Okay? These are the 4 rules of Hume-Rothery. Fine. Hope you understand well. These are very, very important. Okay? Fine. What these 4 rules telling? First one is telling about atomic size. Second one is telling about crystal structure. What is third one is telling? Third one is telling about valency rule. Fourth one is telling about electronegativity. So these 4 rules are Hume-Rothery rules. Okay?